Out of an abundance of caution, Madam Chair, I wish just to alert Madam Chair, and forgive me for having my phone at hand as I speak. I'm just referring to an article today in the Royal Gazette. And I make reference to the article entitled Family Claim They Were Fleeced of Land. It is dated November 30th, 2020. But I just make reference to it in the context of this morning at the start. I had indicated that as a follow-up to the request made by me and the order made by you, Madam Chair, last Wednesday regarding adverse notices being sent, formal notices being sent to a number of persons who we went through the list again this morning. I just implore the importance of us ensuring that these notices go out, especially in light of the article that appears in the Royal Gazette of today's date, because in light of what had been said on that occasion, is being said today, and is likely to be said as we continue, it is also important that we ensure that the formal notice is provided, notwithstanding that one may argue, not me, but one may argue that this newspaper article is sufficient notice. But I just, out of abundance of caution, I just bring it to their attention, ensure that our posteriors are kept covered.
Thank you, Council. I know that I spoke with Mr. Swan this morning regarding the notice, and they were prepared, but not given to me to sign yet. Could you speak to it now, Mr. Swan? Where are we in the process?
Yes, Justice. So we've completed the documentation and we've sent it for printing. So it should be printed very shortly. On review of the notice last time we had sent it up with just.
Will I be able to sign them before we leave the premises this afternoon?
What I noticed was on the last occasion, Council just signed it. So I signed it on the last occasion.
So is that a yes or a no?
I think you'll need to probably.
Because they're being printed, are they being printed on the premises here? Yeah, and if they're printed, all we have to do is just look at them very quickly and I can sign off. Yeah, Council, do you need to inspect them before they're signed? If there are any little changes, we can change it and I'll initial it.
All right.
Would that work?
That works, Madam Chair.
Thank you. So we may proceed.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Now, Mr. Brown.
Let me just give the usual caution, Council. Messrs. Brown, you're both still on your oath and still sworn to tell the truth. Thanks.
I just prefer to deal with before I continue where I had left off. I recall that we had asked the Browns to, at the resumption, to present the
Original documents of the will, so that, and copies, if they have a copy, so that I can certify that it's a true copy of the original, and then we can move on. Is that what?
Yeah, that is so, Madam. I just asked them to go through the process of removing the document from lock and key.
Okay. So Messrs. Brown? Brown?
I think the only thing left was for Brinks van to arrive with it, an armored car.
Okay.
And he's going to,
I wonder if that's mommy's box because it looks
it
vintage
is,
like me.
it's Mommy's box. And Chair, you may be interested to know that Brother George is opening up a bag. This bag was custom made for my mother so that she could carry these deeds when she went to my sister's wedding. There was concern back in the 80s about the security of the deeds. And so she had this package specifically made up just to protect the deeds.
That's a good thing. You see, we vintage people, you know, we know how to do
Just take your
things.
time. Take your time. I'm the mifker. Okay. Take your time. Take your time. Take your time. Take your time. Okay. You want to put them on this? You need them here, or could we have them here? And he wants to take the picture.
So you're going to take a photocopy of it, Mrs. Swan, and that's perfectly good because that will never be destroyed. But what about a copy for my signature? Okay. And I'll be able to get it to sign this afternoon by comparing both.
All the dates. No, you got it.
What we have, Madam Chair, is a document which is CNLB. What's wrong with the title, dude? 10. And I think importantly, Madam Chair, probably at this time, the documents may be brittle, and photocopying really may not be the best option in terms of handling. But go ahead. But you need to, Mrs. Swan, you need to open them after. But don't
Mr.
let them open it for you. Right, yes, right. This is what the judge can get.
Right.
Okay, but she just needs to compare. Each one is going to have to be.
But
I'm just indicating
surely
that.
we have to do them one by one and open up so that we can see the writing on the face of the document. Because it's no good to us if we don't know what the document says.
Let's leave it. I agree, Madam Chair. I just asked that what could be done before each individual document is open and is captured, a copy is made, that all of them could be taken, so at least we know how many are there first.
Okay, certainly.
Just go ahead, what you're doing.
And I think, Council, my suggestion that Mr. Brown will pick up each one and identify them one by one, and then it's copied
Thank you.
after you do the collage.
Thank you. The collage has been done. I'm just going to. Yeah, yes, please. Where's it?
These are copies that you can follow when they look at the image. Did we each get one of these? I don't think so.
Exhibit C NLB 10. And
It's
what,
LB 11, it's marked on this. Is it 10 or 11?
well, our record indicates 10, but I believe the witness, we had a difference of number and the witness and I. But I asked you,
In a circle, to me it looks like a 15. No, no, it's a 10.
I think it's incomplete. Yeah, I think that we need to clarify it. If comfortable, clarify.
Mr. Swan, would you come around and collect this for me, please? Because I need to ask council to look at it and Mr. Swan.
no,
please
Mrs.
come
Swan
around
is
and
there.
collect this.
Madam, I just asked you to disregard what appears on the face of that document.
Oh, you're disregarding all of
Yes,
that?
no, disregard that pink bit of paper. Our record indicates that it's exhibit 10, madam.
Oh, okay, okay. All right, thank you. So did you take the collage, Mrs. Swan? Thank you. Did we take what's written on the outside leaf of the document? That single, if you close it, Mr. Brown, there, I'm looking at it there and there's some paper markings, okay.
Madam Chair, I don't know if we got from the witness, the first one, did we get on the record what it represents?
Not at all.
You're going to have to use the microphone. I'm going to ask you because Madam Chair and the commissioners need to hear what you're saying. You could just change could sit there and use that microphone.
Okay.
Can I call it, may I call it document number 1?
You may, Madam Chair, I would.
You know,
Great,
because
but
I'm
we're
going
right.
to list them 1, 2, 3, 4, however many we have.
Yeah, may I ask us to use either Roman numerals or letters because we are at 10. We are at exhibit number 10, and this is.
Council, who tell you that I know how to write Roman numerals? Okay, I'll write it. 1, okay.
But you need your photocopy.
I thought I might have. So this is one.
Yes.
And it says,
This one.
So council, in order so we can marry the documents, could you write in pencil at the back of it a number 1 in the Roman numerals as well? And we keep a record that way so that we interface them, we know exactly what we're comparing.
We can't, Madam, I propose that I could give him something because we will incur the wrath of his
Yes,
mother if he
yes,
writes on
rather
it.
than writing on it, put a little piece of paper.
so we could call and do.
Okay, Mr. Brown, what do you have there, that first document?
Yes.
This is Roman numeral 1, and if you describe it for us, lead him, council, please.
Could you first tell us what is written on that document, on the face of it, before we designate a letter to it? Are you able to?
I'm struggling, but I see George William Young and I see 1880. So This will be the document that transferred the property from someone to George William Young in 1880, which isn't part of our ownership per se, but it just precedes. So this would be one. This is to George William Young and a Sylvia somebody Hill.
I crave your indulgence. I'm going to ask, in light of the evidence given by the witness, especially in light of the fact that it is not an exhibit and a document that upon which reliance has not been placed, that that item could be marked by identification.
So would it be CNLB 10-1, Roman numeral 1 for identification?
Yes, Madam Chair.
This is this one.
This is the photographs of each.
Yes.
So just let him open the pen to
George William Young.
And how it's characterized, counsel, I have the document as George William Young transferred the property to George William Young, transfer property to who?
Could you assist us, Mr. Brown?
Certainly, it was received by George William Young in 1880, who then moved it to Samuel David Robinson.
Sandra?
Samuel D. Robinson,
Okay.
and that was in 1880. So this is one, this is two.
Yes. Yes, just take a photograph. Could you just open that document first?
And that's 1800.
Which one are we on? The first or second?
First,
1808.
It's 1880, Madam Chair.
Okay.
But the witness has indicated it is a time prior to the time on which reliance is being placed.
Go
So
ahead.
could I just ask that the document, we're allowed to copy the document? Could you just open it up for us, please?
Yes, it has been copied.
Okay, thank you. Could you go to the next one?
So tell me, please, counsel, at what stage are we going to be showing it to commissioners?
Well, at this stage when we get to the next one, because that one was marked by identification, it's not an exhibit, madam.
Okay.
Okay, so the next one
Yes.
is dated the 13th of November, 1880. And it's between George W. Young, or from George W. Young to Samuel D. Robinson.
To Selma?
Samuel.
Samuel. And he said,
Could I have attended admitted as exhibit CN?
it is in 1880, but
Yes.
you said gave me a date, the 13th of what month?
Of November.
13th November.
13 November.
Thank you.
And this is in your handout for today as well, sir. Details.
Could I just ask that it is shown to the commissioners? Ask that it be attended and admitted as CNLB 10 Roman numeral 2. Madam Chair.
Yes. Entered as CNLB 10, Roman numeral 2.
The photocopy that exists in aid of the document, so that also could be given to you, Madam Chair, so the photocopy could be certified as a true copy of the document and then returned to you. Could we?
13th November 1880, George H. Young to Samuel D. Robinson.
Things better just leave it with them.
This is a mortgage document, yes? Mr. Brown, this is a mortgage document. Is it? It says mortgage. Mr. Swan. You show it. Oh, it's inside of something. This is a deal. Let's just step on the side so that he sees we're not moving. I'm looking for the first page.
See, this is 1880, George Young.
Indenture. This, oh, it was in the cover of a mortgage document. Can I see that one? See what happened, Mr. Brown? It is between the leaves of a mortgage document. So I'll have to certify each page as a true copy of the original. But it is an indenture behind the mortgage document, but the way it was presented to the commissioners, and I speak collectively for everyone, it was presented as a mortgage document. You can show it to council if you wish. Yes, sir.
That's understood, Chair.
What we've done, council, I have made a note on it. This is hereby certified as a true copy of the original. And I signed Norma M. Wade Miller on November 30, 2020, and I have had it witnessed by a commissioner to my left. We can go to the next one.
Thank you.
Continue, Mr. Brown.
Okay, the next link in the chain of ownership is mailed on the 18th day of June, 1,885, between Samuel David Robinson and John Augustus Virgin. Represent to you.
Yes, I gave you. And Mr. Brown, you said this was the 18th of June,
1885.
1885. And that's Samuel David Robinson and
Augustus Virgil.
We need to take pictures of all of it. So just open it up and it's bit by bit.
if you're taking pictures of all the
It's
pages.
all the pages. Could you open it again, Mr. Brown?
Can't sit yet, Mr. Swan, because I have to see the copies of that document as well and certified. I have to do them. It seems tedious, but it has to be done because that's how when you get challenges, you can show in the face of the challenge what you have done.
Madam Chair, Mrs. Swan is going to assist us.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am. Thank
I
you.
see. Is this one going to leave? Is he leaving? Huh? Can't read these things, you know, my eyesight is bad. Samuel David. Robinson, and Augustus.
Commissioner Stanley,
Virgil.
if you could turn off the microphone by George in the meantime. The microphone is off. Could you just return? Madam Chair, you're saying.
This is a conveyance of a parcel of land, Mr. Brown?
I believe so, yeah.
That's what it says on the face of it.
Okay.
It's page 1, 2, and 3, so I'll make a note of that.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And just for completeness, as that document be and admitted as exhibit CNLB 10 Roman numeral 3.
CNLB
B
10.
Roman numeral 3.
And if I see the copy, please. Oh.
As that you could certify the copy as a true representation of the original.
Certainly. The next link in the chain is dated 1887. And this is in part a mortgage from Augustus Virgil and his wife to Henry Robert Hurst, 1887. And here's that's the cover.
Would you be kind enough to give the wife's name?
They might have had it, but it,
Not there. It just says Augustus Virgil and his wife.
okay, his wife is Elizabeth Virgil. Sorry, it wasn't on the cover.
It's gone.
It's here, but it
Yeah,
was not
I
on the
just need
cover.
her name for the exhibit.
It's Elizabeth
Elizabeth Virgil.
Virgil, yes.
Madam Chair, if I may, I think the witness is paraphrasing. I don't in the document. He can see why, but he knows the name, and he may be making a connection between the name and the relationship of the person. Better for him just to read exactly what he can see.
So what you see says, and his wife?
Correct.
Okay.
It
No,
says
that's what
Augustus.
I need to. Council, I guess probably in this new era, we would have to put the actual name of the individual.
We would, and I think the copying process that is being undertaken now, I think would capture all of that for
Oh,
us.
okay.
Excuse me.
Yeah, we come back to that.
Excuse me. Sir.
Yeah. Yeah. You have to stand back. No. That's just a distraction, George.
Yes, proceed.
Okay, so
Mr. Brown, could you give me the date of this one, please?
this is dated the 1st of September, 1887.
Augustus Virgil and his wife, and,
Elizabeth Virgil.
yes, and was there another name?
To Henry Robert Hurst, Hurst, Henry Robert Hurst.
Okay.
We'd like to copy, we haven't copied them yet, Madam Chair.
Well, she must be.
So we don't have
So this
another
one
copy,
here
no?
is the one we're gonna-
Pardon me,
We
Madam.
do not have a copy.
No, we don't, no, that process has not even been undertaken.
Okay. So what we will do, we can go through, label, give them the exhibit number, and later on, I interface the copy with the original. Does that work?
It does, but I was just trying to find a method that we'd utilize to ensure that we are all able to individually go through the process.
Okay.
You want a copy here?
Yes, just copy each page, just each page. This one,
It goes up
this one,
this way.
we took that, the one over there. No, no, we took that page.
This,
Try to put the square over it, came close.
The original rules that have all these.
I'm insisting on putting them in 1987, it's 1887.
Around, put that one over there. So you put it over here so you don't lose it.
What time?
No, not yet. Put it on top of. No, the one you just took, put it on top of the others.
okay. Thank you, sir.
Take that to the
This is one.
So you're still copying the 87 document, the 1st of September 1887 document?
Mr. Brown, the chairman is speaking.
I'm sorry, Chair.
Yes, you're still copying papers from the 1st of September 1887 document? Because that has not been entered as an exhibit yet.
Not yet, Madam Chair.
Yes, that's correct. 1887 is still.
Keep that one.
Keep
Keep that one. That's that be tendered and exhibited as CNLB 10 Roman numeral 4.
That's an 1887 document.
Yes, Madam Chair. This one. Let's take it to the.
Just write it in the.
Let me see what you think.
That's it. Augustus Virgil and his wife to Henry Robert first.
This is bad. This
Some bogus documents.
This one. Probably could just copy the others in the meantime while the judge looks over those.
Sure, but
Yeah, right, right. How you gonna have this and what I do?
So Brown just let her do the other one in the meantime. Let her copy the other one in the meantime.
yes.
Sonia, trust me to leave these documents with me?
Was that?
Come and have them, please.
You want to get them?
Can be troublesome.
There's peanut butter and jelly.
Fresh on.
Season, we take it off. She'll be rain. Beautiful. It's limited.
Yeah. You better reach out to anybody else. So that's 87.
turn to the next one.
Okay, go on to the next document, Mr. Brown.
Yes, the next link is dated the 25th of July, 1896. And it's the Augustus Virgin and his wife to David.
just one moment, Mr. Brown, 1896, did you say?
I did. 25th of July, 1896.
And it's Mr. Augustus Virgil?
And yes, and his wife.
Yes.
To David Trimmingham. And it speaks to a mortgage of a cottage and parcel of land.
Counsel, in order to expedite matters, perhaps you could ask Mrs. Tucker to bring it across to me whilst Mrs. Swan takes photocopy of the other documents.
Very well, Madam
Okay.
Chair. I'm so sorry, just make sure you take some notes. I said just take the notes. The document and copy which is being handed to you, Madam Chair. I'd ask that be tendered and admitted as exhibit CNLB 10, Roman numeral 5. And ask that it be certified, the copy be certified as a true copy
Right.
of the original. Sorry, which is it? Excuse, before you proceed, which is the one that, which will next be given to the chairman? Which one was just done?
24.
Oh, that one there?
19. You got the first one. Okay.
Could that document be taken to? Madam Chair, sorry, just, Mrs. Datucker, 1 minute. I just have Mr. Brown announce the document that reference is being made to that. I wish to make an application for it to be tendered and admitted as an exhibit. So the record could reflect it. Please go ahead.
It is the 29th of August, 1924. 29th of August, 1924. Augustus Virgil and wife to Carrie, C-A-R-R-I-E, Lloyd Grisset, G-R-I-S-E-T. G-R-I-S-E-T. Carrie Lloyd Grisset. 29th of August,
Did you say
24
Carrie and a name after Carrie before Grisset?
is Lloyd.
How do you spell the disto?
Grisset is G-R-I-S.
S-E-T.
Correct.
So it's Carrie Grisset,
It's Carrie Lloyd Grisset.
Lloyd.
Lloyd is the middle.
Carrie Lloyd?
Carrie Lloyd Grisset.
Yes.
Well, so this document is dated the 29th of August, 1924,
Correct.
and it's Augustus Virgil and wife
Correct.
to Carrie Lloyd Grisset.
Correct.
Good.
I'd ask that the tender and admitted as an exhibit CNLB 10, Roman numeral 6.
Yeah. We've spoken to this.
You just indicate the next document you have there.
It's dated the 12th of November, 1926.
And what's the actual day and month?
12th of November, 1926.
Yes.
And it's from Carrie Lloyd Grisset from Carrie Lloyd Grisset to Roderick Alexander Ferguson. That's F-E-R. Carrie Lloyd Grisset to Roderick Alexander
Is
Ferguson.
it to Roderick Alexander?
Roderick Alexander Ferguson.
Roderick, huh?
Roderick.
R-O-D-E.
Correct.
What's your middle name?
Alexander.
Grisey.
All
Yes?
Grisey was the surname of the first party.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I have that. No, Ferguson,
right.
That's the surname of the second party.
the second person.
Yeah.
So it's Roderick Alexander Ferguson,
Correct.
right?
And I said that document be tendered admitted as exhibit CNLB 10, Roman numeral 7.
Let us see. Yes, look at the indention.
That's
Between the two.
Harry Lloyd, we say.
Ferguson.
Lloyd.
Ferguson.
Oh, yes. Alexander. Yes. Harry Lloyd.
Of 1926 document between Carrie Lloyd Grisey and Roderick Alexander Ferguson as CNLB 10-7.
Thank you, Madam.
Good fun.
Yes. Of course. Of course. Yes.
That's it.
Thank you. Mr. Brown, what do you have there?
This is the reconveyance of 1945 from Roderick Alexander Ferguson to John Alexander Virgil.
Repeat the date again for me, please, Mr. Brown.
19th of March, 1945.
Between?
Roderick Alexander Ferguson, John Alexander Virgil.
Just so that-
Is it Roderick Alexander Ferguson? And
Back
John?
to
I'd ask that the document with pages, the numbering we'll get shortly, that it be tendered and admitted as Exhibit CNLB 10, Roman numeral 8. One minute, sorry, 1 minute.
So, Mr. Brown, just to verify, this is a 19th March 1945 document, and it's between Roderick Alexander Ferguson
Yes,
and John
Alex,
Alexander as well?
well, they didn't put
Virgil.
Augustus, but it's,
Virgil.
yes, Virgil.
Okay, thank
The-
you.
Mr. Brown, could you just assist us? How are the pages numbered?
The document has page number 1, page number 2, and then page number 3 is shown twice. And they're double-sided. And so the fourth side is number 3. And just thought I'd bring it to your attention.
So it's a document of 3 pages?
It's a document of 3 sheets of paper,
3 sheets.
double-sided,
So it's 6 pages.
but the fourth page is, the fourth side has number 3 on it. So the 3 is listed twice,
All right.
just so that we're not thinking it's a 3-page document when it's 4.
Okay, 6
I
pages.
believe that's a typo.
I just asked whether the witness could indicate if the document bears any indication of a mortgage having been the property having been subject to a mortgage, that it was
Yes, this
the
is
conveyance is back to the named person.
it is a reconveyance back to the named person. Thank you, Councilman.
Could it be shown to the chairman?
Miss Council, I've not been looking if they're reconvencing. I've just seen that they're indentures.
Very well.
But I don't need to inform members. So certify that this is a true copy of the original. Um,
get through a little quicker.
Just the other week, 18 of the left.
I know, three or four.
All of them are doing something that's fine.
So we're going this one, you see that?
Check them out. Check them out. So you know what you do.
Sorry, we're not hearing you, Madam Chair.
Sorry?
Oh,
Sorry. It's been entered as CLN 10 8
that is correct. CNNLB.
LBs. Yes, I have
Thank you very
that.
much.
10 8.
That is it, Mr. Brown. That's it.
That is it.
Okay, you can just return to.
Yeah.
So let me get that.
Please ensure you secure the documents. You need that.
How do you do?
Are you going to just use it for now? You're going to need to make reference to it? Okay, okay, okay. We just need to connect it from. I'll just for the record, but I know it will be done. The pages that were certified as a true copy, that copies could be made of that page itself. That was not done. The copying process was done prior to the certification.
Right.
No, Mr. Brown. Prior to us going off on the recess earlier, we had been speaking of a document which you referred to as a memorandum, which appears on page 21 of Exhibit CNLB4.
Yes.
Dated the 24th of January. I'm sorry. The indenture is dated the 24th of January, 1962. And the document is signed by the attorney for the purchaser on the 7th of April, 1969.
Yeah.
So Brown, I'm going to show you a document. What do you have there, sir?
This is a memorandum, or a copy of a memorandum that was prepared by David Wilkinson's office in April of 1969, claiming that John Augustus Alexander Virgil conveyed the southern portion of his property to Eric Arthur Jones and his wife on the 24th of January, 1962.
Is that a copy of the document that you're referring to, sir?
It is a copy of the document I'm referring to.
Madam Chair, I'd ask that that document be tendered and admitted as Exhibit CN LB 11.
CNLB 11. And what are we, is that a memorandum?
It is a memorandum. It is also referenced in Exhibit 4 at page 21. But the actual document that is referred to and referenced at page 21 of Exhibit 4.
And, sir, if I may,
It's- Go ahead, sir.
this memorandum is also included at the end of the 1961 indenture in the Summers Report, which is just for ease of reference.
Thank you very much.
Should I enter it as CNLB 11?
I would ask you to do so, madam, and I just ask that we could, the references to ensure that there is not duplication. It is the same thing that appears on page 21 of Exhibit 4. And it also appears at the end of what is referred to by the witness as the summer report, which is CNLB.
So we are not marking it?
We are, madam, I asked it to be Exhibit 11, but I was just for ease of reference indicating where else the document may arise, but with other documents.
Yes. So
What's that?
what designation should I? give
11,
it in?
madam.
In
11, CNLB 11.
Okay. So exhibited and marked. Thank you.
You have a copy of that document. Could you just read it for us?
Yes,
Where is it?
it's a memorandum, and it says by an indenture dated the 24th day of January, 1962, and made between the within named John Augustus Alexander Virgil of the one part, and Eric Arthur Jones and Hedwig Elizabeth Jones, his wife, both of the other part, the southern portion of the lot of land within described in the second schedule, within written, measuring northwesterly 341 feet, northeasterly along two straight lines, 73 feet and 87 feet respectively, southeasterly along two parallel straight lines, 58 feet and 226 feet respectively, and southwesterly along two parallel straight lines, 100 feet and 60 feet respectively, for the consideration therein mentioned was conveyed to the said Eric Arthur Jones and Hedwig Elizabeth Jones, their heirs and assigns forever. Signed, Eric Arthur Jones, attorney for the purchasers. And this was recorded on the 17th of April, 1969 by the Registrar General's office under the signature of the acting registrar. And this was received by David Wilkinson's office on the 15th of April, 1969, same day that Pearl of the Lamb was sealed twice.
Thank you.
Council,
Please go ahead.
I just want to emphasize for the commissioners that this, on the 24th of January, 1962, where Eric Jones is, through his lawyer, laying legal claim, this memorandum has come a full 7 years after the transaction supposedly took place. And we think it's instructive that that span of time be brought to the attention of the commissioners, that it took 7 years between the date the transaction supposedly took place and when the registrar's office was notified by David Wilkinson of this transaction. And, you know, we can revisit the details of the southern portion, but 7 full years passed between the date of the claim and the notification to the registrar's office of this transaction.
Thank you. Now, can I take you back to Exhibit CNLB7? It is your schedule of evidence. We had been going through the document.
Yes.
We had paused at page 4.
Yes, sir.
And we had stopped at the title deeds, which we have just dealt with. I ask you to take us to page 5 of the exhibit, reference I.
Yes.
You make reference to Russell Levi Pearman.
Mm-hmm.
And in your item description, misrepresentations to the Central Planning Authority in March 1968.
Mm-hmm.
Could you guide us to the document upon which you place reliance in aid of that item description?
Certainly. The on the 8th of, on the 6th, sorry, on the 6th of March, 1968, according to Annex F of the Summers Report, that's the Bermuda Caribbean, it's an Annex F, which shows the subdivision application for the northern portion by Russell Pearman. And this application was submitted to the Central Planning Authority on March the 6th, 1968. And it is our position that the documentation that supports the application to subdivide has been tampered with by hand.
1 minute, please. Yes, 1 minute, sir.
Okay, and so when this application to subdivide the northern portion of Uncle John's property was made by Russell Perman back in March the 6th, 1968. He had no legal claim, authority, or right to the property. He was not the owner, nor was he acting on behalf of the owner when this application to subdivide the property was submitted to the Central Planning Authority. So as far as we're concerned, this is false representation regarding the ownership of the property at the time the subdivision application was made. It shows the character of a man who will go on to sell, we use that word carefully, the same piece of property on the same day. But before we get to that, we want to look at the date stamp that was attached to the application.
Could you take us to the page in CNLB 4 exhibit, your presentation where you have that, please? What page is it?
Yes, this would be on page 34 and 35.
In exhibit CNLB 4, the witness is making reference to page 34. Please proceed, sir.
And on page 34, as we saw in the presentation recently, the date stamp showing 1969, not even a closer look, but just a good look would perhaps convince you that the 9 in 1969 has been altered. And we believe that that was altered by hand in an attempt to demonstrate that Russell Perman did not apply for this subdivision at a time he did not own. Our view is that the January, February, March, April activities in 1969 are designed to demonstrate that Russell Perman owned the property in 1969 when the application to subdivide was supposedly made. But the plan of subdivision was attached, and that shows 1968. So we see where in 1968, the application to subdivide went in. Now, the letter that's attached and dated February 1st, 1969, with the date stamp February 3, 1969, that is to create the impression that the application to subdivide went in 1969. Now, it was approved, as you can see from page 35 of your handout, in March 1969. March the 7th, 1969, it was granted. It says not approved, it says granted.
Applied for in 68, granted 68.
I worked for government for almost 25, just over 25 years. And you can't have a subdivision for 8 lots of land covering almost 2 acres approved inside of 30 days. It's not going to happen. But this is what is purported to have happened here based on the submissions from the applicant, Mr. Perman, and the representation from the planning department to the police during the course of their investigation. They made representation effectively that the application and its approval was completed in 30 days. And we know from the date stamp in March 1968 that the application was made in 1968, which was a time when Russell Perman did not have a legal claim to the property. Neither was he acting on behalf of the owners. And so it was important to create the impression of not earning it in 68, but in fact earning it in 69 when the application went in.
Thank you. This one. No, let me see this one. Sorry. We're going to show him all of these. There's quite a few. So we're going to start with all of these documents here. So we're going to start. We're going to start with this one here. Um, some dividers in between. Okay, yeah, keep it. Yeah, keep all of them together.
I'm showing you this.
Yeah, that's what we're going to show them there. Now, Mr. Brown, you had mentioned earlier letter on the Department of Planning letterhead,
Yes.
letter dated 19th October 1976
Yes.
and signed by, well, it's a subdivision into 8 lots, comma, R.L. Pearman. You see that document there?
Yes, I do.
That is a document that you are making reference to?
Yes.
That's how that document be tenant admitted as exhibit CNLB 12, Madam Chair.
Repeat that for me, please, Council.
Document on the letterhead of Department of Planning. It has the designation PLNS
PNN.
PLN/1180. It's dated the 19th of October 1976
Yes.
with a heading, the title subdivision into 8 lots. R.L. Pearman, Ports Hill, Sands, as it is known.
Yes.
Thus, the application is that document be tendered and admitted as exhibit CNLB 12.
So entered, Council, as CNLB 12.
Also, Mr. Brown, you had indicated that there are some other documents there. Pray in aid of, oh, sorry, let me the documents. The rest of them all here. Thank you. Fine. You had made mention of the plan of subdivision of Lot 4 of property. Going
Yes.
to show you a document. An application to the Central Planning Authority by Mr. Russell Levi Pearman.
Yes.
Is that it, sir?
This is it. Yes.
That document, Madam Chair, goes along with the previous exhibit. I'd ask that this exhibit is
12A?
CNLB 12A.
Entered as CNLB 12A.
The witness had also made mention of certain anomalies, my word, regarding the stamp that appears on the said letter, regarding the date when the document was received at the Central Planning Authority, and he spoke to the anomaly with the 9 in the year 1969. He's been shown some documents. What do you have there, sir?
I have a copy of a letter from Russell Perriman applying to subdivide the northern portion of the property in question, received by the Central Planning Authority on the 3rd of February, 1969, marked for their reference S 1180.
How many pages does that document comprise of, sir?
This is actually 3 pieces of, but not from one document. It's like it's 2 copies of one, and then there are excerpts from other documents on the 3rd leaf, the 3rd page.
Are they connected to the same thing?
They are all connected, indeed.
I'd ask that those 3 pages, Madam Chair, be tender admitted, those 3 pages be tender admitted as exhibit CNLB 12B.
Yes, okay. The 3 pages entered as exhibit CNLB 12B.
B. In respect of your exhibit CNLB 7, what's the purpose for which you place reliance on this document, sir? The Russell Lee by Pearman, what you describe as misrepresentations to the Central Planning Authority in March 1968?
Yeah, this is, we look to this document to show that Pearman did not earn, neither was he representing anyone with a legal interest. We also want to show the character of the participants, in as much as you would make false representation to government authority for this transaction. We also want to show that Russell Pearman was prepared to sell this property knowing that the title was not clear. So those are the main pieces, but
Thank you.
and importantly, we wish to show that Russell Pearman at this time was he was not representing the earner, and we submit that he was representing others, namely John Swan and others that would eventually show their interest in the property.
Thank you. The item reference as J.
Yes.
What is that?
This is a letter from David Wilkinson, dated from Robert Modia to David Wilkinson on the February the 19th, I think, 1969. And Council, I indicated in the handout, it's February 16, that's a typo. It should be February 19th for this letter. These 6s and 9s are a little bit busy. So it's February the 19th for the date of this letter. And to read it?
Thank you. Reverend Lord. Reverend Lord. This one.